right, welcome everyone to our spring 2025 product webinar. I'm here with Amy Vas, who's our product manager for Batch Service. Unfortunately, the other two couldn't make it today, but my name is Preston Zeller. I'm our Chief Growth Officer. And so we're going to be walking you through some really exciting enhancements to Batch Dialer and Batch Leads that are going on. And yeah, excited to get into this. I know Amy's been really deep in the trenches, making this stuff happen along with our product team. And yeah, so let's get into it. We're gonna avoid all the fluff of just ramping up to these different announcements. So first big one you guys might have seen within the past week is Dialer AI. This is on Batch Leads. And so it's a huge evolution, step forward from what was click to dial, which still does exist today. Dialer AI is a full-on preview dialer slash soft phone. So Amy will get into what that really means for you. But the short of it is you can actually queue up a list within Batch Leads and do your dialing straight in there. So it's not a multi-line dialer. That's still what Batch Dialer is fundamentally for, but you can do a lot of dialing and do it efficiently in there. And there's a lot that goes with that we'll get into. The AI call guidance is a huge piece of that, right? So we'll get into that in a moment. And that call guidance, of course, gives you the conversation
They
prompts.
can't see our screen.
So can't see
Is that
screen
right?
yet.
Not sure if we should, but we can't see your screen yet.
Yeah, you should be able to. Well, let's re-share it then.
Sorry, guys. We're not sharing the application yet, if that's what you're.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you guys should be able to see the actual deck. So I'm actually going to stop sharing and toss it over to Amy, and she's going to go into the product. And yeah, we'll get into it.
All right, now hopefully y'all can see the screen. So this is really, really cool because basically it's a great gap if you're a batch leads user and you're not quite ready for batch dialer. This is such a great little interim thing to use. The cool thing is that you can now create these campaigns. So I'm going to go to my lists. And I'm just going to select a bunch of properties. I'm going to select the first 25 properties on my list. So if I go into it, I go here, I'm going to go up to actions and add to campaign. Now, this is typically where you'll go to add to direct mail campaigns, but this is our Dialer AI campaign. There's another way to do it over here and from this Dialer AI campaign tab, but the easiest way to do it is from here in my lists. So I'm going to go ahead, go to Dialer AI. I can either select an existing campaign. These are great names for campaigns, or I can create a new one if I want to. I'm going to go ahead and select an existing campaign. We'll add test 2. And the cool thing is that you can remove duplicates. So if you've got all of these properties in a different campaign, or even some of them in a different campaign, and you want to make sure that you're not calling the same person over and over again, you can remove those duplicates. In this case, I'm not going to do that just so I can show you guys what it looks like.
And that can sometimes be a concern, right? You accidentally hit up the same owner and
they're like, wait a minute, you already called me.
Yeah, right.
You can also tag them if you want to keep things organized, which is always super great. I'm going to skip that. And here is what it starts to look like. So it looks like I've already got a few properties in this particular one, but it's really cool because it's got all the different phone numbers right here. I can skip between phone numbers. If I'm ready to call the next one, I can just dial right down the line. I will click on this button in order to initiate the call. I don't really want to prank call anybody on air right now, so I'm going to skip that one. But if I wanted to hit up the next property, I would just click this button right here and it would show me the next property. Another really cool thing is that this has all of the information for the property right over here on the side. So you've got the owner name, you've got the year of built. So you're able to look at all of this at a glance. When I open up the dialer itself, you can move it around on the screen, which is also really great because if you need to be able to look at any of these things, you can also change, lead status from here. So if you're on the phone with somebody and you're like, oh, this guy's like super interested in selling his property, you hit that hot button right there, and then you've changed the lead status. It's really, really great. You can look at photos. And then another really cool thing we have here is your campaign progress. So you can see how far through your list you've already gotten. It's just super helpful to have if you're like, oh, I'm running out of leads for this particular campaign. I need to add a few more. And then you've got it. You're pretty much good to go. Um, let's switch back to the deck so I can show you guys what it looks like in
Well,
action.
let me show them one more thing though.
Okay.
Yeah, scroll up above the photo on the right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So the notes and tasks I think are important
Oh,
too,
yeah.
right? Because when you go to a property and you look at the history of your interaction with the owner of that property, you're going to see this timeline, right? So you'll start to see the activity from here, whether you added notes, whether you added follow-up tasks, that kind of thing. So this again, if you don't have an external CRM, this really acts as your CRM for you. So it's an additional thing that you don't have to go spend money on. Again, unless you're kind of scaling in that way where you need more features out of a traditional CRM. But there are those kind of basic features within here. And that's a really key part of this. So
Yep. Right now I'm adding tasks to this. I just added some notes I think you guys could see. So there's a lot of really, really good stuff on this. One other thing real fast I completely
yeah,
forgot about.
yeah.
If you go to the Dialer AI campaigns tab, you're able to create some new campaigns and you can see all the different campaigns that you have. You can sort and filter by active campaigns, inactive campaigns, total number of prospects you've called, answered, disconnected, or I'm sorry, answered, not connected, total calls. So it gives you kind of a bird's eye view of what that looks like.
Yeah, and that of course is important too, where if you're trying to actually measure your input to the business, right? Like what is your actual activity, which I think people can really struggle a lot with at different times in their business. You want to know, hey, am I actually putting in the work? It's not enough just to build the list, right? To do the calls. So if you can actually, you can come in here, you can you can filter by the 7, 30, and 90 days, but being able to really track your activity is helpful for that progress. So,
All right, I'm going to stop my share. We can head back to that deck.
yeah. And so we'll, Amy will now walk through what the live transcript functionality is like.
So this is super cool. I didn't want to prank call anybody on camera like I just said. So I ended up calling myself using the same interface. And basically it gives you the suggested message up at the top. It gives you your name, like if you're super nervous to talk to people, if this is like your first time cold calling or you're just not really comfortable on the phone yet. It's really, really great to have this here. This is a great example of how you can move the dialer to the side so that you can see all of the property details over there on the right. It does have the option for a keypad if you need to enter something manually. You can hold the call, you can mute the call. There's, all the regular things you would expect from a dialer. Go ahead and go to the next slide.
Yeah, I think Keel or Kyle said, can we customize the prompts? Um, and I think this may answer your
Oh,
question.
sure. Yeah. So this one actually shows you what the transcript looks like. So AW is me calling and FT is the person I'm calling. It's the contact. So you can see the things that I'm saying to them. You can see the things that they're saying back to me. The whole transcript is there. You're watching it in real time. So if you're maybe having a hard time hearing somebody or you get super nervous like I do on the phone, you'll be able to see those words on the screen. So you'll be able to respond better. So on the next screen, it actually shows you what the suggested message is. So if you're not sure what to say, the AI system will tell you, it'll read your entire transcript and it will say, okay, here's what I think you should say next. So in this example, we were thinking about selling here pretty soon. That's great to hear. I'd love to help you with the selling process. What time frame are you considering putting your property on the market? So it gives these great messages that you can just quickly say. You don't really need to think about it. Again, if you get nervous, it's a really great thing to have on hand. And the AI does read those transcripts. So it's a really great tool.
And yeah, Amy, when they're calling, right, are they clicking, what should I say, each time they want a suggested response?
Yes, every time you want a suggested response, you'll click what should I say. Otherwise, the system is really just picking up your voice and it's picking up their voice. Ron is asking, we'd have to be present to be able to respond because this is live. Yes, so this is a voice transcription. So I'm calling somebody in this particular case, I'm calling that phone number, they're responding to me, and that is a voice transcript of what's happening.
Yeah, Edlin asked if this recording would be available for members. I'm not sure if you mean the webinar or the phone call itself. Maybe you can clarify that. This webinar will definitely be available
Mhm.
after. So, and we're not actually recording all the calls here, right, Amy? I mean, this is all live. So yeah, the webinar.
The
Um,
webinar, yes. Yes, it will be available. And just a heads up, you guys can trial this.
mm,
It is free to trial for 7 days. It doesn't matter if you're a trial user or if you're, if you have a Batch Leads account, you can trial this.
mm-hmm. Amanda asked a really good question. This is for single family properties or for multifamily. You can use this for any property in our database, which covers the entire US. So, it's really just going to depend on what kind of owner you're dealing with. And I think you probably mean the context of the conversation. Um, Regardless of the type of property, it should be able to give you the proper guidance
Mhm.
to ask the right thing. Um, so, but I would love to hear in our community if you are going after, say, mini warehouses or something like that, and there or whatever it is, and there's some really nuanced terminology that may come up with those types of transactions. Yeah, share that feedback. That's going to help us make this better. And then Emmanuel asks if you use Dialer AI instead of Batch Leads, do you need Batch Dialer anymore? That is a personal decision in many ways, a business decision. Batch dialer is, of course, it's a multi-line power dialer that's going to help you churn through lists much quicker. If you're doing a smaller list dialing, this may suit you better. So I'm not going to make a blanket statement either way. It just depends on your business.
And to add on to that, there are some feature limitations within Dialer AI. Somebody else asked if we can access the transcripts or the recording of the call. You cannot do that with Dialer AI. You can do that with Batch Dialer AI Suite, which we're going to get into a little bit later.
Yeah. Um, Gabriel, if you want to trial this, you can just go straight into your account settings in Batch Leads and start the trial from there. That's how you have to access the trial. Um,
And if you don't have a Batch Leads account yet, you can go to batchleads.com I'm sorry, batchleads.io, and you can start a free trial from there. Then you would just go into your add-ons tab and go ahead and start that Dialer AI trial.
Yeah, but I think to be clear, there's a couple questions about, um, the residential versus commercial. So Hassan asked that. We do have all different kind of property types. So it may depend on area or whatnot, kind of what you're looking for. But we have all those properties. I don't believe this is going to translate into different languages at
We
this
don't
point.
think
It's
so.
just
No.
it's just in English. So Gabriel, good question. I mean, the multi-language thing is something that we would totally take into consideration, depending on, of course, how many people are using it in different languages. Um, so, anyways, the dialer is an add-on, so we'll get to that in a moment, or I think this is actually the end of this section more
Mhm.
or less,
Yeah.
unless anyone else has questions. So it's $49 a month, right? Add-on, sorry,
89.
89. I was thinking of something else. So it's $89 a month add-on to your plan. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Again, you can trial it for 7 days,
Mhm.
right? You can trial it if you're going to take a new trial Batch Leads because you're listening to this, you're not subscribed right now, you can take it that way, or you can take it as an existing customer.
We have a few additional questions. Michael's asking, how are the leads generated? Michael, Batch Leads is an amazing platform for generating those leads. We have a ton of resources. If you're new to Batch Leads, there are some quick filters that you can use to just generate one-click lead lists. It really depends on your personal investing strategy, and it really depends on the type of leads that you're looking for. So, you can get into a different video for that, but definitely lead generating leads is where Batch Leads is at. How does this compare to Deal Machine? It is less expensive than Deal Machine, so I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, the dialer feature aside as well, I mean, theirs came out last year. We actually had time to look at theirs and say, hey, what do we want to do better,
Hmm.
even from the back end standpoint, but also just we know our skip tracing is top tier. Um, so David, you can talk to your account manager about what that looks like for you. Okay, let's go to the next one, which I'm super pumped about, and that is Reia AI. Stands for Real Estate Investing Assistant. So this is our AI-powered real estate assistant chatbot for you. So you can analyze investments, get cold call scripts, ask questions about starting an LLC if you want, get maximum allowable offer or accurate offer prices, that kind of thing. Any kind of questions about the property you want to ask, I'm going to stop sharing right now because Amy's going to do another demo of Reia AI.
I sure am. And I just saw somebody ask about skip tracing working on LLCs. Yes, it does work on
Yeah.
LLCs. So, well, there you go. Okay, Reia, let's talk Reia.
Mm,
So basically, Reia AI exists in two places. There's one that's general up in the header up here, and then there's one that exists on each individual property details page. But I'm going to start with the general one just so you guys can see what it looks like. So basically, it's your co-pilot, it's your assistant. It's going to help you with all the little things that you need that might come up and you think, oh, what do I need to ask, or how do I know what I need to do? So, how do I contact a property owner? These are sort of some basic general questions. What type of investing strategy should I use? And I'm going to click this one right here. Help me write a cold call script. It's going to do it right now for me, which is fantastic. Um, you can ask it specific prompts. So, okay, here we go. Here is a full-on cold calling script. Hello, is this homeowner's name? My name is whatever your name is. I'm a real estate investor in your area. I noticed your property might be a great fit for some buyers I'm working with. It goes through the whole thing and takes it for you step by step, which is really, really cool.
mm.
You can enter your own prompts. So, how do I start an LLC? Or how do I? It's good enough. Let's
Yeah,
see what it comes back
that's
with.
kind of a state dependent thing, anyways. Yeah.
It'll give you an answer. Here we go. Starting an LLC for your real estate business. So this just gives you a whole list of what you need to do in order to register an LLC to help you with your business. So again, it has a ton of different options. You can view some more prompts if you need to.
Mm,
How do I find cash buyers? Help me overcome seller objections. It really
mm,
goes through everything. So I'm going to pick this one for the property specific page. Let's say I'm looking at this property and I'm like, ooh, I want to figure out if this is a good opportunity for a wholesale or a fix and flip or anything like that. So I am looking at this one, and it gives you these initial prompts right here. So help me analyze this property. How do I get in touch with the owner? I'm going to do calculate a maximum allowable offer and see what it comes up with. So first I need to provide my strategy. Let's say I'm doing
mm.
wholesaling. And it takes just a moment because it is analyzing the property.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the background, and I'd encourage everyone to like if you have an account right now, like go start the trial for this, check it out, play around with it yourself. Dialer, I would do that for as well. Dialer AI.
Absolutely. So this is, oops, I think it gave me a different response. Let me pick a different property real quick.
It looks like wholesaling. Right?
Did it? Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't give me the MAO though. So I want to make sure I'm getting the maximum allowable offer for this particular
Mm.
property. We'll do wholesaling.
Yeah, Alex. So Reia is a $19 a month add-on to your plan. So,
And you can trial it free for 7 days.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the best bang for your buck you're always going to get is in our annual upfront prices because those are 40 to 50% off what the monthly price is if you're just paying that. And then these are all just month to month, so you could add them or remove them as you need.
So here is what it came up with for this particular property. This is obviously not one that I would personally look into because it is really, really expensive. The estimated value is 3 million. But it does go through and calculate the repair costs for you, and it applies the 70% rule, and then it gives you that maximum allowable offer.
Hmm.
Okay, in order to make money on this property, if you're wholesaling, you would need to offer 1.9 million for this particular property.
So that's
So
where most people kind of get. Well,
They have
they get into trouble
yeah.
too, right? Is you're offering, there's not enough margin there, whether you're wholesaling it or fixing and flipping or whatever the case is. People do fix and flip, multi-million dollar homes too.
Yep.
But yeah, so knowing that like safe amount of margin you need to build into the deal and what the, ARV and the repair cost might be. I mean, these are all things that especially starting out can be really hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And again, if you can ask it all sorts of questions on this, even if you're starting out, like, I don't even know what type of investing strategy to use, you can click this, what type of investing strategy should I use? And it'll give you a short breakdown of all the different types of investing, and you can kind of go through and pick which one's right for you. So,
Yeah, what's interesting about this to me is I think that, if we were to look back at the past several years, right? Like so many people are watching YouTube, listening to other real estate investors talk about these different strategies, and it's easy to get caught in the minutia of that. And you kind of go, okay, there's wholesaling, there's BRRRR, there's creative financing,
there's house hacking,
there's the you're right,
everything.
all these different things. And here you can actually just pop in and then start asking questions about a specific property, and I think gets you to an answer quicker in a way that is in context versus the theory around a general investing principle. Is the best way I can put that. um, so Casey and Jeanette asked a good question around like permissions for sub users. I'm actually not 100% how that works on an account. Are they all the same, or can you
No,
like view only?
you can set individual permissions. I'd need to go in and check about property notes and photos,
Mm,
but there are some very, very detailed permissions that you can set for your users. You just I here's what I would do. I would go in, I would trial the platform, and then go into your user settings and see what the different permissions are.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, that is available.
Find tenant buyers for lease option, um, or tenants or
So you're
buyers for lease
looking for
option.
tenants and buyers to
Yeah,
lease a property.
to get into lease options, lease option to buy, I think. That's a good question. I don't think that's
We we
how you
have
go
the
about.
option to identify people who are renting a property versus owning it,
Right.
but I don't, the majority of what we do is we find the property owner for you so that you can contact the property owner in hopes that they will sell their property. That's basically the bread and butter of what we do.
Well, yeah, lease options aren't usually like a recorded document either. So that's, I mean, obviously, you
Yeah.
can, of course, as you said, see if something's rented, but see if there isn't a lease option on a
Oh, I
property.
see.
That is, yeah, you need to find
Yeah,
a
we
buyer or tenant for the property. That's not necessarily something that we do, but
no, our yeah, we primarily provide the owner information.
that is an interesting question to maybe throw in to a property, that if you wanted to do that, say it was for rent, you wanted to buy it, you wanted to do, kind of lease option stuff, something like that, throw that in. But again, I'd go trial this. Again, it's only 19 bucks a month in addition. um Saves you, of course, the hassle of like just going and scouring the open internet and like, I'm not sure this is what I need. We're giving you all the data in context. So
For rent by owner, we don't have that currently, but we do have for sale by owner. So if you are interested in that, we do have that available.
So we're gonna hop to the next one real quick, and I'll just show this slide before I throw it back over to Amy. But vacant land, this was a big one that we got back, and with a couple different ways to search for it. This has actually been out for a few months, but definitely felt it worthwhile to cover here because land has become an increasingly popular, tech not approach to acquiring real estate. So we have, of course, the APNs and all different ways you can kind of search by that. Of course, the multi-parcel is interesting as well, and this is included on all the plans. So, Amy, why don't you show
Sure. Yeah, and
them
this
that?
doesn't cost any money. This comes included with all of the plans. So let's take a quick look over here. Um, so let's say I have a list of properties, parcels that I only have the APN for. Let's say I found a list of vacant land from somewhere else. I can go in and search specifically for APNs. I should have grabbed one beforehand. I did not. You know what I can actually do is I'm going to go to, oh, here we are. I can check these parcels right here. So, um, let me back up a little bit. So, under property characteristics, something that we have recently added is, excuse me, the ability to filter by number of parcels on a property. So if I want to make sure that I have a plot of land that has 5 or more parcels, I'm able to do that in the parcel count down here. I'm going to go ahead and hit, see properties. Okay, great. So this one right here has 24 different parcels. It's only going to show the first 10 because there are so many, but I can go ahead then and click on one of the different parcels to see what kind of information it has. Because this is a secondary parcel and not a primary parcel, you're not going to be able to save it to a list because the primary parcel is the one that has the contact information on it. So you're definitely going to want to hit that one up. I'm going to go ahead and copy. This is a long one, so maybe I'll pick a different one. Texas has some long APNs.
Yeah, I hear.
Iowa.
Okay, I was gonna say I can send you one
You're gonna
too
send
real
me,
quick. Yeah.
yeah, or if you want to just read it off to me,
Um,
APN,
here I just sent you one.
um,
Um,
via Slack.
Yves, yeah.
Okay.
Yves asked a good question. Can we import our own leads? You absolutely can. That's actually a pretty core feature for people to use batch leads, right? Because when you import your own leads, that information is now being cleansed by our database, right? So as we get new information daily, we're going to cleanse those leads for you, and it's a pretty common problem, right? Is the leads get out of date?
So I'm going to search for this APN right here. Oh, look, there it is. We also have the county and state available because sometimes APNs are the same in different cities. So we just want to make sure that you're finding the exact property that you are looking for. Um, what else on this one?
Yeah,
What do
Ron
we
asked a good
miss?
question real quick about basically ringless voicemail is what you're describing, Ron. We don't do ringless voicemail anymore because it's a no-no for FCC. So we stopped doing those a while ago. But the do we I know we label them in the system, but I think when you export, doesn't it show landline versus mobile?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will show you which ones are mobile and which ones are landlines, both in the system and when you export. So you'll be able to put those in a CSV file and then filter as needed.
And then I know Reia AI is in the mobile app. I don't believe the is Dialer AI in it.
Dialer AI is not
Right.
in the mobile app. So I saw somebody say something about driving for dollars in a neighborhood. Um, if you had your laptop with you and it was connected to the internet, you would be able to do that. The reason that we don't have Dialer AI in the mobile app is because there's a whole bunch of regulations around it, and we want to make sure that we're keeping you guys safe and free from litigation.
Yeah, and there's a level of complexity there that's
There really is.
pretty wild with doing the way our phone system works and for this and what Amy alluded to that gets pretty tough to just slap into an app. Okay, you got the
I think so, yeah. One last quick thing. I'm going to search by location now instead. While we're on the topic of vacant land and vacant lots, we do have a vacant lot quick filter, which is really, really helpful. I know we also have it up here under property classification, but property classification vacant land is based on the county assessor. And they're not always correct. So if you are looking for vacant land or vacant lots, I highly recommend you use this quick filter right here. It's going to give you the most accurate. And then go ahead and click C. And it should, in theory, maybe there's just too many. Here we go. Look at all these vacant land plots. So many. All the vacant land. So anyway, you get the gist. It's a super great tool to have. Yeah, and it's free.
go to a city real quick. Just go to Phoenix.
Okay.
Answer Rosemary, to answer your question, no, we don't do reverse by name on like the property lookup.
There's too many John Smiths in the world
Yeah,
for
it
us to
would
be
be
able
a
to do that.
search nightmare.
Yeah. So here's some vacant lots in Phoenix.
Yeah, so I think the gist is if you are doing a land search strategy, land acquisition strategy, you can of course combine land like go to the all filters real quick. So if people want to stack in the quick filters vacant lot, um,
With resident, if you're looking for specifically residential single family vacant lots, ones that are zoned for that, you can do that here.
that or the ownership type, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it high equity or someone's pretty over leveraged on it, whatever the case is.
You can layer
Um,
those on.
yeah, layering those filters for land, especially the people who are really privy and savvy to how to use or how to shop for land. That's going to be good. Um,
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
so Daryl, we're going to get into trust owned in a moment here. Let me go into our next slide.
Lynn, really quickly, Reia AI comping is part of phase 2. It can't handle comps right now, but that will be coming soon.
Yeah. In the meantime, we do have a fantastic comping tool that
We do.
we're not necessarily covering in this session, but you can do really nuanced comping.
Take a look at BatchTV for all your comping question needs.
So Podio and also Zapier have gotten a number of integration updates. So um, new triggers and actions. So triggers, of course, being when does that information or when does that workflow get triggered in Podio or Zapier? So things like property and tag updates, lead status updates. Did they get a direct mail direct mail delivered? And then did they answer a phone call or not? Right. All these things can actually better help you or your team make more informed decisions about what they're doing, or if you want to be able to take different actions based on the outcome of something. So again, the additional actions, you can tag them with a certain status, add or remove properties from lists. So if you want to kind of close people out into a kind of reliving campaign because 60 days has passed or whatever the case may be, updating the lead status, creating notes. So not much to show here in particular. I'm just kind of rattled off those changes, but anytime we make integration updates, it's of course really great if you're using those. Zapier also, if you're not on Podio, fine. Zapier will plug into a lot of other CRMs and systems, even if you're using Google Sheets. But one of the key things there is that Zapier has also improved a lot on like you sort of describing in natural language, hey, here's what I want to do with these two tools, and it'll kind of find the way to wire it all up. So,
It's
yeah,
a very cool new triggers for the integrations.
yeah. And then I'll throw it back over to Amy in a moment to look at a couple of these new quick filters, including trust owned, which I believe Daryl asked about it. But you can also get your tags and notes out of batch leads as well now. And then the mobile improvements. We'll come back to that in a moment, but I want Amy to show where the new quick filters are.
All right, let's start with those quick filters. So we're looking in Phoenix, Arizona right now. I'm going to unclick my vacant lot. Check out senior owner. Senior owner. Why is senior owner? Oops, let's get out of all filters. Why is senior owner important? Well, senior owner is important because a lot of them might be ready to sell their property. Why might they be ready to sell their property? Empty nesters, right? There's a lot of reasons why a senior owner might want to downsize. Maybe their house is too big. Maybe their kids are gone. There's, dozens of reasons why they might be ready to offload a property. Sometimes the property is in a bit of disrepair too, if the senior can't keep up with it. So it's a great opportunity for flippers and wholesalers alike to be able to identify those particular owners. And here's some information on exactly what it is. So it's an individual owner who has been in the property for 25 years or more, or has senior tax exemption status, or currently holds an open reverse mortgage. So those are all indicators that somebody is a senior owner. Now let's hop over to trust owned. Right here, this is going to show you all the properties in the area that are owned by a trust. So if that is part of your strategy, Daryl, you are able to identify those owners. I'm going to go ahead and click here. It looks like this property has not been saved to my list. I'm going to, why don't I add a bunch of these so that we can see what it looks like? Because I think you were asking if we could get the contact information for those trusts. So I'm going to save. I'm going to do a new one, trust owned Phoenix, create a new list, and we'll pop over to my lists. This might take a minute or two to populate because it just happened. I just added them. Whoops. Trust owned. There they are. So here we've got all the phone numbers for the trusts. Just hanging out right here. You've got the owner trust name. Whoops. And yeah, you're able to add those to a dialing campaign. You're able to push them to batch dialer. You're able to call them one by one with click to dial. You're able to send direct mail to them. So whatever it is that you need to do, you are able to do that from the My List section.
Cool.
I do believe that's all for sharing on that one.
Yeah, more to go. So, Alex, our RCO, you'd asked, is Batch Dialer AI the default dialer or is there a regular one? Um, I'm not totally sure what you mean by that. I mean default dialer. If you're in batch leads and you want to use the dialer AI within there, you could use that. You could also go use batch dialer, which is of course, a separate product that is a power dialer. So it kind of just depends on what you want to do there. But dialer AI add-on within batch leads, actually, good question he asked there. So if you have sub users, right, Amy? um, and all those users are calling, are they calling from the same line, or are you putting a phone number per user?
So you can have up to 3 phone numbers with Dialer AI, and you can change those phone numbers out every 7 days. So if you do have sub users, you're able to have each of them call from a separate one. If one is currently busy, it will pick up another phone number to dial out from.
Okay. One other question, we'll go to the next thing, but looking up which records have notes or tasks after a dialing session. I think would you be able to do that in your My List section potentially?
Possibly. I'd have to look into that one. It might be under more filters. If you go sort of to the conditional filters section, there might be a notes is not empty field. I'm not entirely sure though.
Okay. So let's head back to the deck and real quick. So I'll show a short video, and actually Amy will just walk you through it, but this is how you can create basically a driving plan for you with
So well,
the driving for
hold
dollars.
before you hit play. Yeah. So let's say you're driving for dollars, right? You're using our mobile app. You're driving for dollars. You say, okay, I've identified a few properties that I want to drive past, but I don't know how to get there, right? This is what you're going to use. This is a brand new feature that we just introduced in the mobile app. You're able to go into My Lists in the mobile app, select as many, well, not as many as you want, up to nine properties, and then you can send it to Google or Apple Maps, and it will set up that whole driving route for you. So
Mhm.
I can go ahead to the next scene and we'll take a look at it. So this is what the mobile app looks like. I'm going to My Lists. I'm clicking the selection button, and then I'm going to select 4 properties that I want to visit. From here, I go to directions, and then I'm going to click Apple Maps, and it's going to open up my Apple Maps. It's going to give me the full directions right here. And then I just hit, I know I tried to hit that button like 12 times. So then I hit steps. There we go. And it's going to give me the exact driving route that I need. Here I'm zooming out to show you exactly the route that you'll need to go on. So it's a really cool new feature if you do need to visit specific properties for some reason, if you just want to drive by and see like what's the condition of the house like. So yeah, that is a really cool new feature on the mobile app. And if you don't know that we have a mobile app, we have a mobile app, and
Yeah.
it's included with your Batch Lead subscription. It's amazing.
Yep. Yep. And just to reiterate, Reia AI will be in the mobile app, I think tomorrow,
Yes,
right?
we're pushing it to the app stores tomorrow. If it's not in there tomorrow, check over the weekend because sometimes it takes Apple and Google a few days to approve.
Right. Right. Awesome. Thanks for that, Amy.
For sure.
Now let's go to next piece. Get this video to stop. Okay, Batch Dialer AI Suite. So this has actually been out for a couple months, and we're just gonna go kind of walk through some screenshots here for this add-on. But it has some similarities with the transcription service that, of course, is in the AI add-on, Dialer AI add-on for Batch Leads. But it's got a bit more going on there, and this is again where you may be wondering, what do I need? What's good for my business? Amy's gonna really talk about what the distinctions are, right? And this is an add-on per month per agent, $39. So Amy, why don't you walk us through this?
Yeah, for sure. So, $39 per agent per month. You can have all of your agents working with this, and it's really cool. Again, this might look a little familiar because they're built sort of in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the what should I say? It has the transcription. The difference here is that all of these are going to be included in your account. So it'll have the notes, it'll have all the transcripts saved for you. Obviously, there's a lot more that you can do with Batch Dialer than there is with Dialer AI. It's a multi-line dialer. You get 3 lines if you're on the basic plan, up to 5 lines if you're on the advanced plan. There's just a lot more bells and whistles if you need sort of a call queue, an IVR, an auto attendant, that kind of stuff. That's what dialer is really for. It's for scaling your business. It's for making it a lot bigger, and it does have all those different cool features. But this is what it looks like. Let's go ahead to the next page. Because another thing that it does, and it's really cool, is it automatically identifies which call result is most likely the call result for the conversation that you just had. So in this particular situation, I called myself about a property. Okay, scheduled a follow-up call for tomorrow, 2 p.m. Positive sentiment, so it auto sentiments. And then it highlighted successful sale because it says that's going to be the most likely call result. Now, the really cool thing is this is another feature that we just added. Down at the bottom, you can see it says create new event. If you click on that, you will be, obviously don't click on it because it's just an image, but you will be able to open up the new task manager. So you'll be able to type in, okay, call so-and-so, Amelia Washington, at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and it will add that to your tasks. So it's a really cool new feature. You're also able to look at your calendar within Batch Dialer. But it's a really cool feature. Also, you can add notes here. But if you go to the next slide, this gives you a full summary. So this is my contact card for Amelia Washington. It has all the lead info, property details, yada, yada, yada. But all of the call summaries are they exist here in the notes section. If you need to add a new note, obviously you can. But at the very least, you can see, okay, I called this person on this date, and here's a quick little summary of what we talked about. So it's a really, really cool feature. It looks like we've got some questions about purchasing phone numbers to use the dialer.
Yeah, this question is actually really interesting because I think it highlights in some ways the difference between Batch Dialer and Batch Leads calling in there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, one of them about reputation management.
Oh, yeah.
Like that actually only exists on our advanced dialer.
Right.
I mean, and that is something that isn't even a widespread availability thing in the industry. But other good question though, in terms of I don't know if we have a readily available benchmark on how many calls we can place per hour.
Oh gosh, it's oh my gosh, I can't remember. There's a formula for it. Is it 100?
I mean, ideally you're having conversations and it's not like
Right.
it's not just burning
There
through.
are some limitations to how many you can call before you get spam, but let me tell you a little bit about the dialer really quick. So, do we need to purchase phone numbers to use the dialer? If you're on the basic plan, yes, you need to purchase those. I think they're $2.
Well, I think she's talking about batch leads dialer add-on.
Okay. Um,
I think. I don't know. Maybe ask a follow-up question, Yves.
well, you know what? I'll tell you about, in the meantime, I'll tell you about Batch Dialer. Oh, you're talking, okay. So you're talking about Dialer AI inside of Batch Leads. You do not need to purchase those phone numbers. Those are free to you. Again, you get 3 phone numbers that you can replace every 7 days. We do not have any sort of audio library, voicemail messages, monitoring phone reputations, spam risks, any of that stuff. All of that can be found in Batch Dialer. So if
Mm,
you are looking for those features, you would definitely want to use Batch Dialer.
mhm.
Um, how many calls can it place per hour? As far as I understand, there are no limitations on the number of calls you can place, but you're more likely to have your phone numbers flagged as spam. So,
Yeah, and I mean, I think because we, of course, the amount of users we have and how long we've been in business, we can usually tell if someone is like doing legitimate dialing too, because there are, like probably most dialing platforms, we've seen our share of people try to come in and use it for nefarious reasons. So if you're using it for a legitimate reason, it's going to be normal behavior. And
on
yeah,
average, how many calls can it place per hour? It's manual dialing, so it just depends on how fast your finger is, and how quickly you speak to people. So,
yeah, you have to it queues up the next
hmm
person to call, but then you click
you have to
call. Right.
manually
Yeah, yeah.
dial that person.
Okay, some things coming soon. So lean data is coming back. Do you want to elaborate on that, Amy?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So we used to have involuntary lien data and it is coming back. So if a property has a tax lien, a mechanics lien, there's like, oh God, there's so many different
There
types of
are.
liens.
Yeah.
But it's a great indicator of a distressed property. So we will have a quick filter for that. We will have an advanced filter for that. We'll have loan amounts and all sorts of good stuff. So all of the, if you were a previous Batch Leads user and you had that involuntary lien information, it is coming back. So we will have that available for you.
Yeah, and smart search, which I feel like it's been in the works for a long time,
It
but
has.
we've had other things kind of pop up in place, but that is definitely in the works right now. I mean, it's actually very close. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we'll have more to share there in the near future. And then
You want
Batch
me to
Dialer.
tell them what it is real quick in case they don't know what smart search
Yes,
is?
please. Sorry. That's the
No,
assuming
no.
people are inside your brain.
Smart Search,
Yeah.
we apologize for the wait for anybody who's been waiting for Smart Search because it's been a long time. We've been really working on developing it to make it work accurately. Essentially, what Smart Search is if you're performing a property search and you're searching for the same things over and over again. Let's say on May 1st, I search for single family residential properties that have individual owners that have owned it for 10 plus years.
Mm,
And I want to know on June 1st, who are the people? Are they different? Are they the same? Is it the same people that I pulled on May 1st? Are there duplicates? What Smart Search will do is it will add those properties to a list automatically. So if I pull that list on May 1st and then on May 2nd, a you know a property owner is suddenly hits that 10-year mark, it'll be added to my list. So
mm,
it just depends on your criteria. If you're looking for foreclosures or pre-foreclosures, as soon as they are flagged as pre-foreclosure, it will get added to your list and then they will also be removed from your list. You'll get
mm,
notifications about it. So that is something we've been working on for a really long time and it will be coming soon.
mm-hmm. Um, Olander Purvis, cool
Mm.
name, asked, "Are lead lists from Batch Dialer integrated with the Dialer CRM?" I think you mean Batch Leads, maybe.
We do have a lead lists add-on inside of Batch Dialer, and I know it gets a little confusing because you have to kind of compartmentalize them. If you have a Batch Dialer account and you are interested in purchasing a list of leads, like pre-foreclosures or vacant lots, we'll say, all of those kind of come from the same place. So if you have Batch Dialer and you're not ready for all the bells and whistles of Batch Leads,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great option for you. You can purchase that. There's a monthly fee with that, and it will pull a lot of those same data points from Batch Leads and hand those over to you. So I think that was the question.
Yeah. Okay, and then the AI dashboard for agents and admins. Just is there a quick blurb on that?
Yeah, for sure. So AI dashboard is something that we've been working on for a little while. Essentially, what this will do is it will provide agents and admins with a bird's eye view of how their agents are performing. So, as an admin, I want to know who is my best performing agent? What are they good at? How often are, like, how long are they on the phone? How long are their conversations? What are their areas of improvement? So maybe they're not so good at objections, for instance.
Mm,
Let's say we have your agents calling and they're really bad when somebody says, yeah, I'm not really interested in selling right now. They're not great at objections. This will tell you what they're good at and what they're not so good at. If
mhm,
if they're kind of harsh on the phone, it'll say, maybe their phone presence could be a little bit better. So it allows agents to be able to see that. You'll be able to see kind of there's automatic customer sentiments. Um, a bunch of really great tools. We're still in the development part of that, so we're still working on it. But the great thing for agents is that they can also see, okay, where am I doing well and where can I improve? So
mm,
so from a bird's eye view, the admin can see which of my agents is performing well, which of my campaigns is performing well, because there will be a campaigns tab as well. But then on the agent side, they're like, okay, how can I do better? How can I perform better? How can I hit my goals? How can I hit my KPIs? So it's a really great tool. Again, it's not available yet, but AI Dashboard will be included with AI Suite that's currently in Batch Dialer. So if you purchase AI Suite in Batch Dialer for $39 a month, and that's the call transcript thing with call results, you will automatically get the AI Dashboard included. So it's a great little package.
yeah, wonderful. That wraps it up today. I know we have a few giveaways. I apologize. We had a lot of people kind of register last minute for this webinar, and so getting that list together and doing a live raffle like we've done in the past didn't happen. But we will announce on social and of course email the people who win. We're going to do a giveaway for 6 months of the of Reia AI, of Dialer AI. So both those add-ons and Batch Leads, and then the AI Suite add-on for Batch Dialer as well. So there's 3 giveaways for 6 months of those add-ons. So 3 people will win one of those things, and we'll announce that within the coming week. So yeah, really appreciate everyone joining us today and being customers. And if you're interested, thank you for joining us as well. I mean, we really um, can't make these improvements without you guys really giving your input and speaking up when you see something that could be better about the product. We're always looking to make it better.
We're listening.
Yeah,
Improve
and
us.
yeah, we have lots of different ways in which we're trying to understand better and just how the landscape is shifting. We know AI is coming at us in a rapid pace, but we want to make meaningful changes in terms of that kind of technology within the application, and then also deliver stuff that is going to, of course, work well. So. Um, Please, if you have any other kind of questions, don't hesitate to ask, hit us up on social media. We have a couple other questions that I'll just answer real quick. Yeah, AI Suite in Dialer, there's going to be more coming into that. Reia is actually part of this AI Suite concept in Leads as well. There's just Reia is the only thing there right now. So we have there's more things not even listed in what we just showed you that will be rolled up into an AI Suite. For now, it's kind of the things that we've talked about. Um, and then, yeah, you actually already answered that, Amy. So
Yeah, for
I was
Batch
just
Dialer,
redundant.
yeah. So for AI Suite and inside Batch Dialer, it's Call
Yeah,
Intelligence, which is the transcripts and the AI guidance, and then the AI dashboard, which should be coming soon. I'm thinking by the end of June, is what they tell
yeah,
me.
cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate your time. And yeah, go try out
It's free
these additions on,
trial.
yeah, both these products today. And yeah, have a great day. Have a great Memorial Day.
Thank you, everyone.